Welcome back here to Mando Field of Home for your Mocksville-Davie American Legion senior and junior squads as we get set to take on the post-8 Swines. As for Mocksville-Davie, they're coming into game 11 of the regular season. So far, they are 3-7. They had a 2-game winning streak that started on June 2nd, resulted in coming from a 11-1 loss on June 6th. This game was originally scheduled to be a few nights ago, instead getting postponed due to rain, being made up here tonight. As we take a look around the lineups here tonight, starting up for post 8, it's going to be Messer leading things off, followed by Mullen, Terry, Noyola, Cruz, Bonnet, Patuski, Kuntz, and Rodriguez. On the mound will be Rinaldi. As for Mocksville, the starting lineup will be Noah Owens, Manny Morales, David Thiel, Braden Carter, Joseph Johnson, followed by his brother Jonas, Ryan Williams, Luis Sanchez, and Brian Robertson. After the plate meeting here at home plate, there will be possibly no national anthem, no player announcements. Charles Curfews is not yet to arrive here at Mando. So it looks like first pitch will be here in just a few moments. Going to take a quick break and we will get you top of inning number 1 here at Mando Field. Welcome back. Here's the Swines are set to go up against Mocksville-Davie. As for Mocksville, they're looking to get back into the win column here tonight. They've beat Post 8 once so far this season. That resulted in an 18-8 win down in Lexington. First matchup here at Mando right before going back to Post 8 tomorrow night. First pitch swinging. That's popped up shallow left center field. That's going to drop in a leadoff single. That coming off the bat of Messer. This will bring up Mullen already. Nobody out with a 1 on. Man on the mound for Mocksville. That's James Spencer. Robinson in left, Williams in center, Owens in right, Sanchez, Johnson, and Morales going around the infield. Holding on the runners, Morales at first. Pickoff move, keeping him on as tag nearly in time. As Messer is able to get back in safely. Third baseman is Sanchez playing in even with the grass. Nearly ready to be expecting a bunt. Corner infielders ready for a double play. Runner goes, pitches inside. Nearly interference. The throw is just a tad late. And up the first base side of second base. Stolen base from Messer. As that caught the inside corner of Mullen. 0-1. That's our feel. That's around his 14th stolen base given up so far in the season. Johnson holding on his runner. That's popped down the first base side. That's going to stay foul. And just like that, Spencer's ahead in the count 0-2. Still looking to get the first out here in the top half of the first. It's been a while since Mocksville's played here at home. The most recent game coming up against Concord on June 4th. Had a game on June 5th, but that game was postponed due to rain. Here's the 0-2 against Mullen. Chopped down the third base side. Not able to field it cleanly. Reaches on an infield error. As Sanchez wasn't able to field that off the infield grass. Had a chance for the first out there for Spencer. Unfortunately, not able to get it, and that will bring up the 3-hole of Terry. Four pitches into this one so far, and runners are already on first and second. Working from the stretch, first pitch downstairs. That's going to be stopped up by Thiel. 1-0 the count here to the 3-hole of Terry. Loyola waits on deck, followed by Cruz. Subbing off at the back of the mound here, Spencer. Johnson holding on his runner at second. Decent size lead. Gonna stay, put his hats outside, nearly gets away from Thiel. Just like that, it's 2-0 here against Terry. Just a better go. Mullen was up to an 0-2 count. Had a grounder to third for Sanchez. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to make the grab. At least he was able to smother it in front of him. The 2-0 outside. That one does get away from Thiel, and the runners will advance 90 feet. 90 feet away from bringing home the first run, with runner number 280 feet away standing on second. It's Messer and Mullen, the 1-2. The 3-0 popped up right field side. Owens giving a chase, not able to make a grab as it will roll to the fence. Falling over the first base bag, but that's going to end up scoring two. A long RBI single brings home two from Terry. Terry fell over the first base bag. Looked like he stepped on a banana peel. Thought about getting up and continuing going two. Instead, he'd make that wide turn and retreat back in the first base. It's over here. Still nobody out here in the top half of the first, and it's 2-0 in favor of Post 8. As for Mocksville, they end up winning their last matchup against Post 8, that being an 18-8 final score. Mocksville would score 2 in the top half, followed by Post 8 scoring 3 in the bottom half of the second. And it's been a back-and-forth game since all the way back on June 2nd. A 8-run top of the 6th. Hope Mocksville bring home that 18-8 victory. Pop down the first base side, gonna get out of play as the count will even, a ball and a strike. Test. Runner goes, pitches outside, called a strike just barely as Steele was popped it up to himself. But once again, a tad too late. Another stolen base here against Steele. That one coming from Terry. The shortstop of Johnson holding as that catches the outside corner. That will sit down Noyola for out number 1. Coming all the way down to the 4 hole. This will bring up Krause. Bonnet on deck, followed by Patuski. Bo Johnson holding at second. Has a big hole in between first and second. With a hardy cut there, 0-1. As for Mocksville, Owens, Morales, and Thiel set to start things off in the bottom half of inning number 1. Still needing 2 outs here. Downstairs as the count evens 1-1. Runner in second, that's Terry after the 2 RBI single in the right field. Tripping over Banana Peel at first, it felt lightning stealing second. Popped up left field, giving Chase Robertson in the corner, not able to make the grab. Coming around third is Terry, going to be a plate. The plate as the throw goes into no man's land. 3-0 here in the top of the first. As Sanchez, the third baseman, picks up the loose ball right at the edge of the shortstop grass. That had a lot of height to it toward the left center field gap. Unfortunately, Robinson not able to track that one down. Ranged out to his left. Unfortunately, not able to make the grab. That caught the outside corner against Bonnet. The 6 hole. Still 1 out. Here in the top half of the first. Popped out of play, 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Slider not able to catch the outside corner. Trying to work the count back here as it's 1-2. 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 Mocksville so far here in the top of the first. Johnson holding on his runner. Backing up as that just misses the inside corner. Nearly got Bonnet on his left side hip. Able to work his way out of his count evens. 2-2. Sanchez about even with the bag at third. Johnson, the shortstop, holding on his runner. Once again misses inside. Here comes a payoff pitch. First one of the night down to the 6 hole of Bonnet. Johnson, the second baseman, playing in the outfield grass, taking a step in as that's down and out ball 4. Puts runner first and second. Here with 1 out, and here comes Coach Lovelace up for Mocksville-Davie. Going to take a quick timeout here. Still top of the first, 3-0 in favor of Post 8. Coming back here, Coach Lovelace makes his way back to the dugout. James Spencer will remain on the mound working from the stretch. Runners first and second, that's Krause and Bonnet. Krause reaching on an RBI single in the left center field gap. That was a high pop-up that just got out of the reach of Robinson. First pitch offering here, down and out, nearly got away from Thiel. 1-0. There's a 1-0. Check swing right back to the man on the mound. Looks to turn it 2. Thrown in the center field with Spencer. That will bring home one. Throw comes into Johnson at second. Puts runners on first and third now still with one out. Outside to Kuntz. 2-0, that is. 8-hole up here for post 8. Runner goes, pitches inside, gets away from Thiel. Bonnet will remain on third. Stolen base from Petoskey. Currently a 3-0 count here as the infield comes in, called a strike. Trying to work it back here, 3-1. Sanchez, both Johnsons and Morales. And on the infield grass. A 3-1 upstairs, ball 4. All the way down to the 9-hole already here in the first inning. It's 4-0. Bullpen warming up here for Mocksville. First pitch is outside from Spencer, 1-0. Down and out, 2-0 here to Rodriguez. Bonnet on third, Petoskey on second, Kuntz over at first. Inside, 3-0. About time to wonder, when will the bullpen start to get hot? A 3-0. Fastball right down the pipe, called a strike. Trying to work it back here, 3-1. To the 9-hole of Rodriguez. Caught right back to him, has a chance at double at second. Instead, will go one. Gets away from Morales, and that will score 1. Chasing it around, here comes another one into the plate. Will still be able to make the grab just barely. Could be interference there at third. The throw into third is safe. Rodriguez got caught out by James Spencer on the mound. A soft comebacker, but not able to fire it over to Morales at first to double up Kuntz. Unfortunately, that comes across to push home 2 more, as there's now a runner on third, 2 outs. Comes back over to Spencer. Redemption throw over to Morales. Puts them down, but not before 6 come across in the top half of the first. 6-0 going, bottom of the first. Coming back here, bottom half of the first, Mocksville trailing 6-0.
Also tonight, how about that legendary umpire on the bases, Bill Holder. He do that Savannah banana dance for him. All right, that's enough.
6 runs, 3 hits, 3 Mocksville errors here in the top half of the first. That's down and inside to the leadoff man of Noah Owens. On Dex Morales, then Thiel. Trying to get something going here in the home half and find an answer. Grounded to short, Rodriguez feels it cleanly over the Cruz. Out number 1. 1 up, 1 down here from Rinaldi.
First baseman number 16.
Yeah. Answer post 8, Mullen, Rodriguez, Kuntz, and Cruz around the infield as that's grounded a second for Kuntz. Fires it over to 1 for out number 2. Testing both of the middle infielders here in the home half of the first. Neither one of them budge. 2 outs here in the home half of the first will bring up David Thiel. A 3-pitch inning so far as that's downstairs ball 1. Thiel, one of the better hitters so far on the season for Mocksville. Trying to keep that going here as they trail 6-0 outside 2-0. On deck will be Braden Carter looking to get in that bet here in the first. Fires it in. Bottom half of the zone, called a strike. Brings it back here 2-1. Misses inside, 3-1 now, 2 outs. Thiel trying to be a 2-out base runner here in the first. Delivery on to 3-1. Downstairs in the dirt, a 2-out walk here for Thiel will bring up Carter. Carter working in from the right side can be a right-on-right matchup as Thiel will come into the dugout for a pinch runner. A courtesy pinch runner, that is. First time from the stretch, firing at home. Misses outside ball 1. Runner stays put as that's downstairs 2-0 to Carter. The DH tonight for Mocksville-Davie. Carter wanting a timeout from the home plate umpire, not giving it. Anyways, that's downstairs ball 3. Runner first, that's Bailey. Down and out ball for a 4-pitch walk here. We'll put a runner in scoring position for Mocksville here in the home half of the first. 180 feet away as the coach for post 8 will come out and take another quick break here in the first. We'll be back right after this mound visit. Coming back here, man, the plate, that is Joseph Johnson. After back-to-back walks here in the first, that gets away from the catcher of Terry. Runners will advance 90 feet as Mocksville is now 90 feet away from pushing home the first run of the night for Mocksville. Joseph Johnson at the dish. Man on deck, that's his brother Jonas. That's going to be followed by Ryan Williams, Sanchez, and Robertson before we head things back to the top half of the lineup. Count evens 1-1 here against Johnson. Trying to do some damage as that's downstairs. 2-1 now, 2 outs. Infield playing regular depth, outfield playing no doubles. As that's upstairs 3-1. Center fielder of Messer playing fairly shallow, if you will. Playing him dead away center field. Here's a 3-1. Pop straight back out of play. Full count now, 2 outs. Payoff pitch upcoming. Has a free base at first. That put Johnson up at the dish if he's able to reach. That being his brother Jonas. Will not matter as he swung on and missed. And that will be the end of the home half of the first. No runs, no hits, no post-date errors. Top of the second coming up right after this. It's 6-0.
Logan Allen.
Welcome back here, top of the second inning. Mocksville-Davie trying to find a quick 1-2-3 inning here as they trail by 6 after a 6-run top of the first. First pitch swinging chop down the first base side. That's going to go foul. 0-1 here to the 2-hole of Mullen. 3 hits in the top half of the first led to 6 runs, although there were 3 Mocksville errors. That's fouled back, and just like that, it's 0-2 here from Spencer. Have the Mocksville bullpen warming up in the top half of the first as they'll leave Spencer here in the second. Time from the batter, Mullen. Appears to be something in his eye, could be his hair, as he took his helmet off right outside of the batter's box. Here's the 0-2, foul tip straight back, as the count will remain 0-2. Man on deck, that will be the catcher of Terry, followed by Noyola, Cruz, and Bonnet. Theo back behind the box, ready for the 0-2 pitch. Catches that one just a tad outside. 1-2 here from Spencer. Looking to get a leadoff out here. Instead, that clips him. Didn't home plate umpire see it. Had a chance. Appears that the home plate umpire said no. Third base coach talking things over with the home plate umpires. That possibly could have been a hit by pitch. Working here from the windup, the 1-2. Popped up out of play once again as the count will come even to a piece.
There goes foul balls, folks.
Mullen still at the dish here. As the count evens to a piece, to delivery from Spencer. Outside, gets away from Theo, 3-2. Payoff pitch here in the second. Firing it home, struck him out swinging. Out number 1 here in the top half of the second goes against Mullen. As Spencer gets his second strikeout of the night. And that's how the second will come to a start. Target a 2 RBI single into right field. End up tripping over the first base bag. And just misses outside, maybe upstairs, 1 out. .41 pitches so far through 1 1/3 inning for Spencer. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. Pitch clips his back right elbow, and you can feel the pain in this one. 1 out base runner here against Spencer. I'll bring up Noyola. Terry's reached base twice so far tonight. Had an RBI single back in the first, and unfortunately for here in the second, a hit by pitch. And we'll have a courtesy runner again here. This one coming in the top half of the second. Bullpen still quiet here for Mocksville. A 6-run top of the first, has a base runner on here in the second. Runner goes, pitches inside. Theo's throw is over the Johnson. Did he tag him? Safe, but didn't apply the second tag off the back. Called him out. Caught stealing I believe it's the second one of the season here from Theo. For out number 2. Chopped. Gonna be picked up by Johnson at short. Fires it over the first, picks it out of the dirt as Morales will get the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors through the second. Mocksville coming up right after this. Okay. I'm needing another glass. My ear's going again.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of people we want to thank for making American Legion Baseball possible here in Mocksville. Our coaches, Mike Lovelace, Blake Little,
George Dale, our recruit coordinator. Mike Dickens out of the gate, the guy you met coming in. Will Smith, scoreboard. These lovely ladies fixing our hot dogs. So please give all these people a big round of applause. That is Kay and Teresa.
Coming back here, bottom half of the second, trying to find a way to claw their way back in as they trail 6-0 against Post State.
Jonas Johnson.
Here's Jonas Johnson down the count 0-1 here against Rinaldi. Outside nearly gets away from Terry, evens at 1 apiece. Here's a 1-1 lined right back up the middle. That's going to be a play for short for Rodriguez. Fires it over the first in time, out 1. A slow roller from Rodriguez as I thought that had seeing eyes right back in the center field to Messer. Instead, Rodriguez pinches it off and fires a bullet over the Cruz for out 1. Same way the first inning started from Owens, a ground out to Rodriguez. As we're here, that's downstairs ball 1 to Ryan Williams. A 1-0 fastball right down the pipe, called a strike. As the count evens 1 apiece across the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Still looking for the first hit here as that's popped up right side. Has a chance for Cruz. Will that stay in fair ground? Right there in the bag. As Cruz is able to make it 1 step in front of the bag, right in foul ground for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down. Same way the first inning started, resulted in back-to-back walks, followed by a pass ball put runners on second and third pick in the first. Unfortunately, none able to come across after a strikeout to Joseph. First pitch here is downstairs to Luis Sanchez, 1 out. Here's a 1-0. Downstairs once again, 2 balls, no strikes to Sanchez. 25 pitches on the night for Rinaldi. 2-0 here. Called a strike right at the bottom half of the zone, 2-1. Just like that, it's 3-1 here against Sanchez. On the season for Sanchez, still looking to get his first base knock through 2 games. Full count. Still waiting to lift the bat off his shoulder for the first time here tonight. Here's a payoff pitch. Chopped down third base side. That's going to be gloved by Mullen at third. Fires over to Cruz, out 3. A 3 up, 3 down inning here in the second. Top of third coming up right after this. No runs, no hits, no errors. Going top of the third. Welcome back here, top of the third at Mando Field. Coming back out, it's James Spencer for his third inning of work. First pitch called a strike here against Cruz.
Mason Krause.
Kraus, that is. Had an RBI single to the left center field back in the first. Being the third run, or being a part of that third run in the top half of the first. Downstairs gets away from Thiel, 1-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Sets him down swinging for out number 1. Third strikeout of the night here from Spencer.
Nathan Bonnet.
Called a strike downstairs, 0-1 to Bonnet. He walked back in the first. It was one of 2 walks back in the first inning, the other walk going to Kuntz. Apologies, there's that first pitch was called a strike as the count evens 1-1. From the windup, Spencer. Lined over the head of the second baseman of Johnson, can be played in front of Owens. Will fly it right back into Johnson in the outfield grass. 1 out, base knock here from Bonnet. Puts a runner on first here, 1 out in the top of the third. Here comes Patuski. Had an RBI back in the first. That was a lineout that was caught by Spencer. Tried to fire it over to Morales, ends up throwing it into foul ground. First pitch here is a hit by pitch. And this will bring up Kuntz. Had a hit by pitch back in the second, but ended up resulting in a 1-2-3 inning after a caught stealing. Steele was able to throw him out, trying to steal second. Bonnet on second, as that's lined into the right field hole. Here comes a chance from Owens to show off his arm. Throw is going to be blocked up by Thiel. Spencer nearly played out of position. Bases are now loaded for Rodriguez. Rodriguez had an RBI back in the first as he lined out to the pitcher. First pitch swing can be shot. Not able to make the dive was Sanchez. As that's thrown to second, got the lead runner was Johnson to Johnson. Out number 2, but that brings home a run at 7-0 here in the top half of the third as Bonnet comes across to score at home. And this sends us to the top of the lineup for Messer. Had 2 at-bats on the first inning, had a single in the left center field, ended up stealing second, followed by a ground out. The Spencer. Lefty up at the plate as that's downstairs, gets away from Thiel. Runner at third's coming. Patuski's going to score standing. 8-0 here in the third. Inside, gets away from Thiel once again. Runner will move up to third, 90 feet away from being the 9th run for Mocksville, as a throw from Thiel nearly got away from Spencer. Working from the windup here is Spencer. Up and out, ball 3. Mullen waits on deck as a 3-0, misses inside. Ball 4. And that will bring up Mullen. Mullen's had 2 at-bats so far. He reached on an error to Sanchez in the first and struck out in the second inning. Needing an out here to keep this 8-0 here in the top half of the third. 8 runs on 5 hits so far, 3 Mocksville errors. Runner takes off for second, popped up center field, trailing for it's Williams. Running in, makes! Not able to make the grab, makes the grab. Runner comes across third, going to be picked up by Spencer, fires at the field. Is it in time? No! Spencer not in the right position, should have been back behind of field. Watching the throw. $10-0 here in the top of the third. Scoring from first on that was Messer. Here's Terry. Popped up, third base line. Gets out of play, hits the concrete, and nearly goes back into the third base dugout. 0-1. Eighth batter of the innings. That's upstairs, evens at 1 apiece. Spencer's up to 64 pitches so far through 2 2/3 of an inning. Looks like they're going to ride him until they can't. Lined left center field, giving chase Robinson. That's over his shoulder, as that will be played by Williams. 1 step in front of left center field wall. Going to be held up at third. First baseman of Morales all the way over on the left side of the pitcher's mound will cut that one off, as Coach Lovelace will make his way back out to the mound. And that's going to be his night of James Spencer. Going to take a quick timeout here as we will continue and move on through the top of the third. It's 10-0 here in the third. Coming back here, new man on the mound in the top half of the third is Charlie Young. First pitch. Downstairs, ball 1. Runner Ferguson third. That's Terry on first. Mullen on third. As it's 10-0 here in the top half of the third. This is upstairs 2-0. 99 pitches on the night for Spencer. Apologies, no, 65. Chop fouled on the first base side, 2-1. Terry on first. A little bit harder here to steal second, but will not matter as that bounces off of Theo, and here comes the 11th run for post 8. 5th run of the inning. 2 innings so far tonight where they've scored more than 5 runs an inning. 6 in the top half of the first and 5 as we continue here in the third. 4 straight batters where a runner has come across and scored. Popped up, shallow right center field. Johnson giving chase, able to make a jumping grab as both Williams and Owens wasn't able to make it there. Going bottom of the third. We'll be back right after this. It'll be 9-1-2. Coming back here, bottom half of the third, Mocksville needs to find a way to score at least 2 here in the next 2 innings to avoid a 5-inning run rule. As Post 8's leading at 11-0. Up at the bat, that's going to be the 9-hole of Robinson. 9 runners came across here. First pitch swinging, that's going to be eaten up by the first baseman, but second baseman able to make the recovery and fire it over for out number 1. Cruz was able to get a body on it as the second baseman of Kuntz was able to react quickly enough and fire it right back over to Kuntz for out 1. Back up to the top of the lineup, 0-1, as that's going to be another play for the second baseman of Kuntz. Fires that over the Cruz. Out number 2, back-to-back plays for the second baseman. Here comes Manny Morales. He's 0-1. He's grounded out to second so far. So far, 3 ground outs to second in the inning. Upstairs, ball 1. On deck waiting, that's David Thiel, the catcher. Currently with his shin guards on, trying to see whether or not that Morales will be out 3 or not. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Yep, 2 quick groundouts. Popped up third base side, that's going to give away the foul ground as it hits off the bleachers, 1-2. As for Rinaldi, he's had 1 strikeout, so 2 strikeouts that is so far tonight. Apologies, wait. 1 strikeout so far tonight, and comes back to Joseph Johnson to end the first. Popped up. Middle range center field. Messer underneath of it makes a grab for out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning here in the third. Top of the fourth coming up right after this. It's 11-0 in favor of Post 8. Coming back here, top of the fourth. It's still 11-0 in favor of Post 8. Man on the mound, that's Charlie Young coming in for his second inning of work, who came in relief from Spencer back in the third. A 9-batter inning, that is, that played at home 5 runs. 10 came up in the first. That resulted in 6 runs. 3 Mocksville errors so far in the night. Upstairs 2-0 from Young. Bullpen warming up here once again for Mocksville. Is a right-hander, about a 3/4 arm slot. 2 O's outside, 3-0. Caruso for 9 has an RBI single in the left center field back in the first and struck out to start the third. As he's starting out here in the fourth as well. 3-0 catches the inside corner. Young trying to work it back. 3-1 now to the leadoff man of the inning. On deck's Bonnet, followed by Patuski and Kuntz. Downstairs, blocked up by Thiel. Leadoff base runner for against Mocksville, that is, as Cruz makes his way to first. Already working from the stretch. First pitch here in line, center field. Williams coming in on it, makes a bad read. Will be left by the shortstop of Johnson, trying to double him up. Morales not able to hold on to the bag in time. The throw is just a tad late from Johnson. After the walk to lead off the inning, a fly out to shallow center field. We'll bring up Patuski. He was hit by pitch on the first pitch in the third. Takeoff move over the first, nearly had him. Morales didn't apply the tag. Patuski has an RBI. He ended up reaching on an error, followed by a hit by pitch, so no technical at bats here. So that's pop straight back. 0-1 here to the third batter of the inning. 7 hits so far in the night, 4 Post 8. Mocksville still looking for their first one. They've had 2 base runners. Those coming on walks back in the first to Thiel and Carter. Misses outside, 1-1. Sixth pitching appearance here for Charlie Young. As here's a 1-1. Foul tip, not able to make the grab was Thiel. As Young gets ahead 1-2. On this season, Young has a 7.87 ERA. Giving up 13 hits over his 8 innings of work, 14 runs, 9 of those being earned. Has walked 7, struck out 5. As the count evens, 2-2. Has had 4 wild pitches so far this season, alongside 3 stolen bases given up. 2 in his season debut, followed by 1 after and none since. Outside, 3-2. Most he's thrown in a single outings, 2.2 innings. That was against Rowan County on June 1st. Gave up 5 hits in those 2 2/3 of an inning. The payoff pitch, just missing the outside corner. Patuski will put a runner on first and second. Still 1 out. Looks like we'll have some more heavy rain showers here tonight. But it appears that it will miss the gameplay here. Here comes Kuntz. As for Kuntz, he walked in the first, had a single in the right field, back in the third. Run coming 1 inning ago. Popped up right field side, heading towards the bullpen. That's going to get out of play and up onto the hill. 1-1. Rodriguez on deck, followed by the top of Messer, Mullen, and Terry. Working from the stretch, here's Charlie Young. Here's a 1-0. Breaking pitch, called a strike on the inner half. Brings it back now for a chance to Young to get punch out. Number 1 of the night. 1 ball, 2 strikes here, 1 out against the 8-hole of Kuntz. Mocksville's gotten at least 1 strikeout every inning. Won't happen here as that's fouled off down the first base side. But a count will remain 1-2 against Kuntz from Young. As for Rinaldi, he struck out 1 in the first inning. He walked 2 and has gone 3 up, 3 down ever since. Checks on his runner at second, firing in the 1-2. Breaking pitch, catches the outside corner, sits him down. Out number 2 of the inning comes a strikeout as Charlie Young picks up his first strikeout of the night and Mocksville's 4th total of tonight through 3 2/3 of an inning. Young up to 21 pitches so far tonight. He's coming in his 2nd inning of work as that's popped up. Chasing after it, Morales in foul ground. Running hard, not able to make the grab. Had a chance if he laid out, but instead decided to stay upright. 0-1. As for Rodriguez, he had an RBI. Back on the first, it was a line out to the pitcher. That was his Spencer. Unfortunately for Spencer, threw a terrible throw over to Morales, which led to a run coming across the plate. 1-1 here against Rodriguez. Once again, 0 for 2 so far in the night. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. Here's a 1-1. Catches the inside corner, called a strike. 1-2 here now to Rodriguez. Looking for back-to-back punch-outs and a way to end the 4th. As Mocksville-Davie is looking to come to the plate and get their first base knock. It will start Theo, Carter, and Johnson. Upstairs, 2-2. Kraus on second, Patuski over on first. Both of them reaching on a walk. Fouled straight back. 2-2 it remains. Had a 3 up, 3 down inning back in the 2nd. Second batter, that was Terry, ended up being hit by a pitch. Ended up being thrown out trying to steal second. That being the closest thing to a perfect 3 up, 3 down inning here from Mocksville. Won't happen here in the 4th. Still has a chance to go in the 5th. If Mocksville scores at least 2. They will continue playing past 5. The payoff pitch. Runners go. Fouled back. And we'll do it here again. Going to be crossing over to the 4th time through the batting lineup. If we get to the man on deck here in the 4th. The payoff pitch. Curveball's popped up left field coming in on this Robinson. Made a good read. Was he able to make the catch cleanly? He was, as he went sliding into shallow left center field. That will take us to the home half of the 4th. Mocksville needs to find a way to try and claw their way back into this one, as they are currently trailing 11-0. first pitch here to Thiel, misses inside, ball one.
Thiel leading off the bottom of the fourth.
David Thiel trying to knock us off here in the fourth and find a way to the first base knock. $200. I didn't pay much. No. I was thinking it was around 4. Well, since I was doing media stuff, I sort of got a. The 2-1 here to Thiel, lined into left field. That's going to be a base knock for Thiel. First base hit of the evening for Mocksville. Puts a runner on first here in the fourth.
Brandon Carter.
After David Thiel's leadoff base knock, that's going to bring up Braden Carter, who reached on a walk back in the first. First pitch outside, ball one. That's for Thiel and Carter. So far, they're the only 2 base runners that Mocksville's had. Back-to-back walks with 2 outs in the first. Upstairs 2-0. New man on the mound, that's Summers. Is that complete of Rinaldi's night? Had 2 3-up, 3-down innings, followed with 1 strikeout and 2 walks to his name. The 2-0 swung on a miss. Pitch upstairs, 2-1. Man on deck, that's going to be Joseph Johnson, followed by his brother Jonas, followed by Ryan Williams. A 2-1. Downstairs, blocked up by Terry. Runner on first, that's Thiel. After a leadoff base knock here in the fourth. Man infield ready to turn a double play here as that pitch is upstairs, ball for a 5-pitch walk. 2 walks on the night here from Carter. Will bring up Joseph Johnson. So far, Mocksville's had 4 base runners, all 4 coming from Thiel and Carter. After a 5-pitch walk, first pitch here popped up first base side. Cruz giving chase down the first base right there at the foul line. Just gets up onto the hill, 0-1. Bonnet in the left, Messer in center, Patuski on the right. It'll be Mullen, Rodriguez, Kuntz, and Cruz around the infield. 11 runs, 7 hits, 3 Mocksville errors in favor of post 8. Lined into left field. That's going to drop for 1. That'll hold Thiel at third. Bases loaded. Nobody out here in the fourth. Here comes Jonas. That's for Jonas, batting a .238 so far in the season. Started off the season fairly slow and has slowly made his way to claw back into the middle of the batting average so far this season. First pitch upstairs, ball 1. Thiel at third, Carter at second, his brother at first. The 1-0. Clips him upstairs. That will bring home Mocksville's first run of the night. It's 11-1.
Hot dogs up here, folks.
Here comes Ryan Williams. And that will bring in we'll have a pitching change here. 11-1 bases will be loaded here for Mocksville. We'll be back right here after the pitching change. bases are loaded. New man on the mound, that's Everhart. First pitch, catches the outside corner, 0-1. Of course we said something, right? And the plate, that's Ryan Williams so far, 0-1 on the night. Up and out, count evens, 1-1. As for Williams, he flew out to first base back in the second. Carter, Johnson, and Johnson around the infield for Mocksville. 1-1. Fouled one off upstairs, 1-2 from the Submarine Everhart. Trying to get a long inning going here for Mocksville. They trail by 10. 1-2, popped up right side. Is that going to stay fair? It is. Drops down in fair ground. That's going to bring home one run. Throw in the short is late. It's 11-2 in favor of Post 8 as Mocksville has a 2-run fourth inning. Sing high single from Williams will bring up Sanchez. This will bring up Sanchez. He's 0 for 1 so far tonight. He grounded out to Mullen back in the second. Lined. Gonna be into right field. Here comes one run. Johnson scores. His brother is held up at third. It's 11-3 here in the fourth. Back-to-back RBI singles in the right will bring up the 9-hole of Robertson. That's Robinson. He started the third, grounding out the second. 3 straight RBIs here from Mocksville. As it's 11-3. Catches the outside corner, called a strike, 0-1. Jonas waits on third. His brother Joseph ended up scoring on the last play. Popped up in the infield. Coming back deep, Terry gives chase to the stands. 0-2.
Don't get doubled up.
Mocksville is in a chance to be run rolled through 5. Post 8 needing 2 now in order to do so. Popped up in the infield. Shortstop underneath of it, Rodriguez. Infield fly, batter out. 1 out. This brings things up to Noah Owens. He's grounded out to short and grounded out a second so far tonight. Downstairs, stopped up by Terry. 1-0. As for Owens, he's batting a .269 through 26 at-bats, 30 plate appearances. A 7 hit, 6 singles, 1 extra base knock. That catches the outside corner, evens at 1-1. 6 strikeouts so far in the season, 3 walks. And scored 8 runs with 4 RBIs. Has a chance to do some more damage here. Outside 2-1. Ten pitches so far here from Everhart. Catches the inside corner, 2-2. Popped up left field side, left field calling its bonnet. Makes a grab, diving grab, not able to, nearly doubled up at third. Bad base running there from Johnson. Makes a grab, 2 outs. Thought that ball was initially dropped, so Johnson took off for home, had to come back to tag up. Started going back to it home, realized he would have been thrown out, and nearly doubled up back at third as Mullen was ready to apply the tag. First pitch swinging from Morales. Center field Messer trailing back toward the left, able to make the grab. 1 pitch, 1 out here against Morales. 9 batters come up, but 3 runs come up. 11-3 in favor of Post 8 going top of the 5th. Coming back here, top of the fifth. First pitch offering here is grounded to third. Not able to make the grab as it'll come out for Johnson. Fires over to Morales. That's going to be late. Infield single. For... I believe that was Messer. Indeed so. That was Messer. This will bring up Mullen. Marks was able to score 3. Currently pushes them out of the run rule category. Pickoff move over the first. Applies a tag. Standing up was Messer. Gets back in safely. As for Mullen, he reached on an error in the first, struck out in the second, had an RBI single in the third. First pitch offerings outside, 1-0. Fourth, runner takes off for second, pitches outside. Messer is in without a throw. 2 balls, no strikes against Mullen. Charlie Young on the mound. That's his 4th stolen base against. So far, he's had none caught stealing. As there's a 3-0 count against Mullen. Foul tip straight back, caught by Theo, 3-1. Needing a out here would be huge for Mocksville. There's a 3-1 here from Young's downstairs, gets away as Messer will take off for third. Mullen was nearly able to take second on that walk. And this will bring up the catcher, Terry. First and third. Bullpen quiet for Mocksville as they trailed 11-3. Takeoff move over the first, once again keeping them honest. As Morales will fire it right back over. That's the second stolen base on that from Messer. Another pickoff move. This one a little bit closer of a play. Safe. Picked him off. Has a chance over at third. Throw gets away. And Mullen takes second. Two runners in scoring position now. Nobody out as Enfield will come in. As these runs are important. Upstairs ball 1 to Terry. $11 runs out of 8 hits so far. Ball in play here. Possibly could score 2. Foul straight back. Got a piece to Theo off the face mask. 1-1. Oh, apologies. A 1-1. Young fires it in. Stopped up, nearly gets away. Just far enough where Messer will have to retreat to third. Once again, infield's in. That's Nelson, the Johnsons, and Morales. The 2-1 from Young. Foul tipped. That went straight down as the count evens. 2-2 from Young. This will be his 40th pitch of the night. Mocksville has used 2 pitchers so far. That's Spencer and Young, combining for 11 runs given up. The 2-2's upstairs, full count. Second and third, there's a base runner to put Terry. Here's the payoff pitch, line fouled, as the count will remain full. Outfield for Mocksville playing back. It's Robinson, Williams, and Owens going left to right. And to plate Terry, 3-2 count. Here's the payoff. Chopped right back up the middle. Went in between the wickets of Johnson at second into center field. Here comes the 2 runs across. Throw is late and cut off by Young. 13-3, and we're back to a 10-run lead for post 8. This will bring up Noyola. 4 errors here for Mocksville. So far for Noyola, he's 0 for 3. Struck out in the first, grounded out to short in the second, and had a fly out to deep second base. First pitch downstairs gets away from Phelps as a runner will take off for second as Terry. 1-0. Here's a 1-0. Fouled straight back. A ball and a strike. Though it doesn't seem like the runner on second means much. If they push it home, Mocksville will have to score 2. Two and 1 here to Noyola. Fires it home, line to left field. That's going to be off the wall. Robinson able to pick it up. Runners will be second and third. A throw from Johnson. Keeps them there safely. Second and third, no outs. As Terry will advance to third. A hard shot there from Noyola. Goes straight off the left field wall. As it appears going to be a pitching change here for Mocksville. Going to take a timeout here, and we'll be back after the pitching change. Still here, top of the 5th inning. As for Mocksville, they've given up runs in 3 innings. 1st, 3rd, and so far now in the 5th. Nobody out here in the 5th. As for Post 8, they've scored 6 runs in the 1st, 5 runs in the 3rd. So far, 2 in the 5th. Runner 2nd and 3rd, infield playing in. To be Nelson, Jonas, and Joseph Johnson and Morales over at 1st. Boger takes over on the mound. At the plate, it's Kraus. As we're here under the lights at Mando. Upstairs, ball 1. Kraus is 1 for 2 so far. RBI single in the left center field and strikeout in the 3rd. Catches the outside corner, 1-1. A 1-1 shot right back to the mound. Boger has it, has 1 play, fires it over the 1st, gets away from Morales. Here comes 2 more runs in. 15-3. Now Mocksville will have to score 3. Mocksville will have to score 3. And the home have to continue it. Drop down the third base side. Nelson over at 3rd, firing it over to Morales. In time, gets an out, throwing, comes back into 3rd. As Cruz will take 3rd in with a dive. Here comes Satuski up to the plate. The infield coming back in now, 1 out. First pitch here downstairs nearly gets away from Phelps. Just bounces to his left. As Cruz will remain on 3rd. Yeah. Here's a 1-0. Shot fouled. Count evens 1-1. Mocksville-Davie will head to Post 8 tomorrow night, trying to get a revenge game there. They've won 18-8 so far. Popped up right field. That's going to be caught by Owens. Cruz will remain on 3rd. Phelps nearly gets away from it. And Post 8 looks like they're going to leave right where they're at. As Cruz never left 3rd base. 2 outs. Third base coach just scratching his head. Could only be the performance of Mocksville defensively here tonight. There being no hit into the 4th. Had a decent 4th inning from Mocksville. First pitch catches the inside corner, 0-1. Kuntz is 1 for 2 so far tonight, singling in a right and striking out in the 4th. Has a walk to his name back in the 1st. Here's the 0-1. Check swing over to Johnson at 2nd. Has 1 play to Morales. Flips it over nice and easily for out number 3. To the home half we go. Mocksville trailing 15-3. Coming up to the plate, David Thiel. He's 1 for 1 with a walk so far. 1 of 4 with a base knock. He'll have another one here, right back up into center field. A 1-pitch single here for Thiel makes him 2 for 2 on the night. He's been perfect. Reached base in all 3 times. Here comes Carter. He's been walked twice. He as well so far has been perfect. Mocksville needing 3 runs here in the 5th. From the submariner downstairs, ball 1. Inside, called a strike. Team's at 1-1. Clips him upstairs, puts the runners first and second now. As Carter still technically perfect on the night as getting recording at bat. This will bring up Joseph Johnson. He's 1 for 2, struck out in the first, had a single in the left field back in the 4th.
Joseph Johnson.
First pitch offering here, called a strike downstairs, 0-1. From the stretch, the 0-1. Chopped down the third base side, that's going to go foul. And just like that, Joseph's down 0-2. Jonas waits on deck, his brother followed by Ryan Williams, Luis Sanchez, and Ryan Robertson. Here's the 0-2, runner takes off for third, popped up. Has a chance to be doubled up as Kuntz will make the grab. Fired over to Rodriguez. Double play. And Blake Little as well, third base coach for Mocksville. Takes his head off in disgust. 2 outs, and we're 1 out away from going home after a offensive breakdown alongside a defensive breakdown as well. First pitch here, downstairs, blocked up by Terry. 1-0. Johnson and an RBI hit by a pitch in the 4th. Bases are loaded. Taking one right up his left shoulder. 2-0. To line past Rodriguez at short into center field. Could have bases loaded with an out. Instead, first and second now 2 outs for Ryan Williams. Had an RBI single down the right field line in the 4th. Trying to keep something going here in the 5th and continue tonight as Mocksville trails by 12. That's going to be a base knock into center field in front of Messer. Little's going to hold him. Got to watch the throw. That's going to be stopped up by Terry. Besides that double play by Joseph, after Thiel got doubled off, that would have brought home the 4th run of the night for Mocksville. Still trails by 12. Sanchez as well had an RBI single. First pitch swinging, fouled off down the first base line, 0-1. On decks Robertson. The 0-1 downstairs, stopped up by Terry as the count evens 1-1. Apologies, Nick Nelson taking over, has the RBI single back in the 4th. Nelson swings over the 1-1. Falls behind to count 1 and 2 as Mocksville comes down to their last strike. Bases loaded. 1-2. Downs and out. Will even the count 2 and 2. Nowhere to put them. Once again, the runner standing on third means basically nothing. The 2-2. Up and out. 3 and 2. Payoff pitch upcoming here now to Nick Nelson. Runners take off, swing and a miss, going to step on home plate, and that will do it. Marks will end things on a strikeout. Final score here tonight, 15-3 in favor of Post 8. Marks will head down to Post 8 tomorrow night in Lexington for a rematch as these squads even out the series 1 apiece. Once again, final score 15-3 in favor of Post 8.